house. You're enjoying your time in Philadelphia in the offseason, so sorry to disturb you, but hey, this news broke. We got to get your thoughts. What were your first thoughts when you saw Kawhi going to Toronto, your favorite city?
Well, I thought it was a great trade by the Spurs to get a 28-year All-NBA player and got him locked up for a few more years. And Porter is a really good player off the bench. So I thought it was a great trade by the Spurs. They wasn't going to get anything better than that, to get an all-star player and a really good backup and a number one draft pick down the line. I thought it was a great trade. But Toronto, they swinging for the fences. That's my favorite city. Maybe Kawhi's going to like it there. They took a chance. Do I think it was worth it? Listen, they got nothing to lose. Listen, Kawhi, if he is all in, going to love that city. One of the best kept secrets in the world. But I thought it was a great trade by the Spurs, man. A really good trade on the circumstances.
And, Chuck, we knew Pop was not going to send Kawhi to the Lakers and make them better overnight. And I know you're a big Masai Ujiri fan. What does Masai need to say to Kawhi to make him feel welcome throughout this season to possibly try to keep him for future?
Well, I think he's probably the most underrated GM in the league. If you go back and look what he's done, drafting players and making trades, he's made Toronto a perennial first-place Eastern Conference team. They haven't been able to get past the Cavs, but they've been one of the elite teams in basketball for the last X amount of years. It just depends on how Kawhi want to go to L.A. or not. I mean, I'm not sure if there's anything that Masai can do. But I'm saying he can. He only got it for 1 year. But if he wants to go to L.A., clearly he's going to go to L.A. There was no way. I told people a month ago, the Spurs are not going to trade Kawhi Leonard to the Lakers and have to play against him and LeBron for the next 5 years. So that was never going to happen. But, man, Toronto went for it. I give them credit. But, listen, I like what the Spurs did. DeMar is one of the best players in the world. And, I also think, they're one of the teams in the Western Conference. I think Houston came back to the pack losing Trevor Ariza. I think Oklahoma City is going to be better without Carmelo. I think the Timberwolves are going to be pretty good. And I think the Spurs are right there in that mix. And then the Lakers are right there somewhere.
So you mentioned the Lakers, so I have to get your thoughts because it doesn't seem like the way the roster is constructed right now that the Lakers are going to compete for a championship. We all know that things could change, but last season we saw Paul George openly want to go to the Lakers. The Lakers don't make the move to get Paul George. Now, essentially, the Lakers find themselves in a very similar situation with a player that says they want to go to Los Angeles, but the Lakers didn't necessarily make all the moves to acquire him. So where are the Lakers sitting at right now?
I think they're the 5 or 6 seed in the Western Conference. I don't think they're definitely not contenders. But I think you can say that probably like they're around 5 or 6 in my opinion. I mean, LeBron's great, but they don't have a lot to go with him. I mean, I think there's some elite teams in the West. The West is going to be a dogfight, and I don't think the Lakers are a contender.
And, Chuck, now with TNT having the Eastern Conference next year in the playoffs, how happy will you be if Toronto makes it back to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Well, I think what's going to be interesting, it's a 3-team dogfight between Toronto, Boston, and Philly. I think that's going to be, it's going to be a dogfight. I'm going to enjoy any of those 3 cities. Now, you know that. Boston is just an hour flight from Philly, so I can stay at my house. If Philly gets there, I can stay at my house. And Toronto is one of my favorite cities. So those are the 3 elite teams in the Eastern Conference. So it's going to work out good for us. I tell you what's going to be interesting is Boston. Because, I don't know if they have enough basketballs to go around. I mean, they got a lot of talent, man. They got a lot of talent. But it's not going to be easy to just put 2 all-star players back out there and everything's going to work perfect. And Jaylen Brown and Tatum, man, they have terrific years. I don't think they want to stand around and watch Kyrie and Gordon just score all the points. They just stand around. So, and saying with Al Horford, it's going to be very interesting with all that talent they got in Boston, how this position works.
Hey, Chuck, well, thanks for joining us. I know you're enjoying your offseason in the city of brotherly love, and, you know, you're looking forward to the Eastern Conference Finals, but just enjoy your offseason in the meantime playing golf.
Hey, listen, you know, there's nobody better at free time than Charles Wayne Tucker.
Having Charles is always great, and then there's NBA Twitter, which is great as well.
Good morning.
Good morning. Donovan Mitchell, of course, shocked. The NBA offseason is awesome. And we get a Legends starts up next. Isaiah Thomas joins Game Time. On the huge Kawhi Leonard trade as the Claw is on the way to Toronto. But this is not the first time Coach Pop has been faced with losing an all-star player.
We got a great group to work with, and we've changed the team before. I mean, you know, every championship that Timmy played on was a little bit different. So this year will be not much different than other years. We had a lot of additions last year. You know, the year after Timmy retired, we won 61 games and went to the conference finals. The team changed. And, you know, last year under tough circumstances, the 47 wins I thought was an excellent effort on the part of the team. And there were a lot of players that hadn't played a whole lot in the past. So, you know, we'll do it again, but we'll have an even more talented crew this year than we had last year.
How recently did you feel that Kawhi, there was still a chance that anybody would stay?
You know, we talked often over the summer about a lot of different things, both on and off the court. So, you know, attempts were made, you know, to see what would be best. And in the end, this trade appeared, and we felt that this was the way to go.
Is there any question still about his health, Kawhi's health?
I don't think so. No.
So Coach Pop right there talking about moving Kawhi Leonard, who, by the way, fun fact, is the NBA's all-time leader in win percentage, right ahead of two guys you might be familiar with, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. So great company right there. So Pop, he seems very comfortable with this decision moving forward without Kawhi.
Well, one thing we know about Pop, he's done his due diligence to making sure he's exhausted every opportunity to bring Kawhi back. It's not going to happen now. So when you look at the roster, you look at Murray, DeRozan, Gay, Gasol, and LaMarcus Aldridge, that's not a bad starting five now on your depth chart. Now, obviously, the Western Conference is extremely deep. But one thing we know about Pop, the system speaks for itself. He'll get DeMar DeRozan in, make him feel comfortable, and they'll still be competitive.
So you mentioned the system. Now, is the system potentially going to change? You have more of an athletic player in DeMar DeRozan. Do you see that happening with the Spurs?
No question about it. Obviously, they've gotten away from the mid-range game and shoot more threes. We saw DeMar DeRozan this year shoot a few more threes this year in the system he has come from. So I look for him to shoot more corner threes, and Pop will find a way to have the ball in his hands so he can still be effective and get to the free throw line.
Definitely effective. It's been a couple of years since the Spurs last won their championship. You've seen since 2014, the playoff results haven't been exactly what they want them to be, losing the first round in the Western Conference Finals a number of times. We welcome in our front office expert, a basketball savant, David Griff, on the line. Griff, you there?
Bro, what's going on, man?
Hey, you know
I don't know about basketball savant. That's
well, you know exactly what's going on. What were your first thoughts when you hear this news drop this morning?
Yeah, I was really surprised, actually, that San Antonio made the deal in the fashion they did. I thought with USA Basketball getting ready to begin, they would let Kawhi be there and prove that he's healthy. I think the offers would have been significantly better had he been healthy. And so I think if there was a window of opportunity for him to showcase that, I think they probably could have leaned on him a little bit to say, listen, we're not getting the kind of packages we want from the kind of places you want to go. Help us help you. And I'm just surprised that they acted when they did.
And Griff, with the timing of now Kawhi saying he will participate in USA B basketball, was that a way to let the rest of the teams know that I'm healthy, I'm willing to show you guys I'm ready to play if you want to make a move for me?
Well, I think it was, and I think it certainly would have helped. I think anytime you're trying to put together a Godfather-type package to get a superstar player, you want to at least know that all the assets you're putting in the center of the table are being put there in pursuit of a healthy player who's capable of playing at the star level he once did. So I think it would have had a profound impact on the quality of offers that San Antonio was receiving.
And Griff, you've been in that chair before, obviously. Take us through what Masai is thinking, that I want to take a chance on this, knowing Kawhi may not be totally happy with this move. But on the flip side, if I get him here, I bring him to Toronto, I show him our culture, maybe we change his mind.
Well, I've never been in a situation where a player's expressed a lack of interest in coming immediately. You know, we had a situation where we took a gamble on Kevin Love, and he had the ability to leave us after 1 year. And we were very confident that being part of what we were building in Cleveland, trying to win a championship, would speak to Kevin over time, and fortunately it did. I think Oklahoma City's success in keeping Paul George sort of emboldened Masai and Bobby Webster to believe that they could sell their environment to Kawhi, and I get that, I really do. I think this is almost a no-lose situation for Toronto, because it's a really big gamble on the one hand, but they'd sort of run aground, and they weren't as good as they wanted to be in the Eastern Conference with the mix they had. DeMar's owed a great deal of money, and in the playoffs had not played to the level of that contract. So in a way, if Kawhi was not happy, they would know that, and they'd have a better feel for it by trade deadline. I think they could potentially flip Kawhi again for more than they're giving up if cap flexibility mattered to Toronto after this season, and I think it probably does. So I like this gamble by Masai quite a bit regardless. It doesn't even matter to me if Kawhi says, I will stay. I don't think that's the only thing that makes this a successful deal. I think they wanted to reset the deck a little bit, and getting off of DeMar's money might be part of doing that. And if Kawhi stays, this is just truly beyond a home run deal for Masai and Bobby.
Now you see why Roe called you a savant. You see, you just took it to another level for us and explain to the people at home that this is a smart move for Masai. See what I mean? Thank you, Griff.
Oh, man. Griff, I
get lucky once in a while.
Griff, before we get you out of here, I have to ask you this. So you mentioned an unhappy player in Kawhi Leonard. So you go from one disgruntled wing leaving San Antonio to another entering San Antonio and DeMar DeRozan. So what are the chances DeRozan actually sticks around in San Antonio?
You know, I think, again, this is a situation, I try to be mindful at times like this that R.C. Buford is infinitely better at his job than I've ever been. So I believe there's a plan here, and it could also be part of perhaps flipping DeMar DeRozan. There's a potential for that as well. I think he goes from a situation, and you guys just mentioned this about Kawhi, he goes from a situation where he was paying incredibly high taxes to a place with no state income tax. That might get comforting to him over time.
Of course, it's all about the money at the end of the day. At least that's what I've heard. Hey, Griff, thanks for taking time to join us.
Thanks so much, fellas.
Toronto always keeping it classy, going online today to make sure they thank DeMar DeRozan for everything that he's done for that franchise. The all-time leading scorer for Toronto Raptors now going to San Antonio, and there is the Claw, former Finals MVP, doing work on the move. More coming up.